What's up guys, hope you're doing all good. My name is Dr. Vincent Strange, and if you're new here, I review and react to different movies and TV shows, giving my honest opinions. And today I'm giving you a review of Dev Patel's new film Monkey Man. So I actually got to see this at an early screening courtesy of Empire VIP at Odeon in Leicester Square. We also got a short Q&A after the film with Dev Patel himself, and also a surprise appearance from Jordan Peele, who also produced the film. So let's get into the review. Let's start with the story. This film is a revenge story for Dev Patel's character Bobby, though his real name actually isn't Bobby and we don't really learn his real name. But for the sake of this review, I'll just call him Bobby. The story follows Bobby as he plots to take revenge on the chief of police who's responsible for his mother's death. And in it we see people who are just like Bobby, the poor lower class, who are victims to the corruption of the country's leaders. A lot of people, when they watch the trailer for this, they use John Wick as their point of reference to compare this to. But I would say the violence and the action scenes are more reminiscent of films like Oldboy and other Korean action films. Like, that's just what it felt more like to me. We see Bobby don a monkey mask for his character in an underground fighting ring, but the whole concept of the monkey man is inspired by the Hindu god Hanuman, who is half monkey, half human. And we'll get more into the Hindu mythology a bit later. I also love how this film depicts the underbelly of India. You'll see the street level poverty that Bobby will choose to fight for rather than just fighting for himself, but we also see the pain and suffering that exists higher up on the food chain. For me, this is the first time I've seen Dev Patel in this gritty, violent type role, and I gotta say he did a great job. Along with all the combat scenes, Dev gives us a very heartfelt performance, as is normally the case with Dev, but having this as his directorial debut just makes us think what else we can see from him in the future. We've seen the on-screen talent part of him, but now we get to see what he's capable of behind the camera as well. We also see Sharlto Copley, who plays a character named Tiger. It's been a while since I've seen Sharlto Copley in a film. I think the last time I saw him was in Elysium, I think. So yeah, very long time ago. Did I mention that I love Sharlto Copley? So yes, I was very happy to see him in this, and he is very funny in this. We have Sikandar Kher, who plays the main villain. He is very menacing and proves to be a formidable foe for Dev Patel's character. Like, I didn't think he'd be such a good fighter, thinking that his brute strength would be his main offense, but that's not the case. But we also learned that he's not the only villain, and I won't really go into much detail about that because it is a bit of a spoiler, but more on that later. We also have Pitobash, who I know from $1 Million Arm, another great film if you ask me. Pitobash is very funny in this, in a setting where everyone is just so serious. Apart from Sharlto Copley's character, I think he pretty much is the only other comedic relief that we get throughout the film, other than a few moments here and there later on in the film. But that's not to say that he is a useless character. He is important to the plot as well. Ashwini Kalsekar plays a character named Queenie, who I actually really loved. She's a real badass in this, and she's really quite scary herself. We also get Vipin, who plays a character named Alpha, a transgender who comes from a temple of worship. I love how Alpha and the rest of the worshippers use their sexuality as part of their culture, but at the end of the day, it's actually not about their sexuality, it's about how they honor their god. Alpha and the rest of the followers do have a pivotal role in the film, so I won't go into much detail about that. So I would say go and see this for yourself, you won't be disappointed. Lastly, I want to talk about Sobhita Dhulipala, who plays Sita. Now this is where we get into the mythology a bit more. So in the story of the god Hanuman, Sita is the wife of Prince Rama. Sita was captured by the demon king Ravana, and because of this, Hanuman and Prince Rama went to go rescue her. So to parallel this in the film, Sita is in her own prison under the demon king, who I believe is Sikandar Kher's character. But Bobby's goal isn't to save Sita primarily, it is to kill the demon king. There are also other villains in this as well that I won't spoil, but what we see as well is not just the corruption of the police, but also religious leaders as well, who weaponize their faith against whoever they want to gain more power. Now let's talk about the cinematography. The cinematography was done by Sharon Mayer, who's known for Coach Carter, but also Whiplash. Alongside him we have Simon Temple as well. A lot of the shots consist of intense close-ups, mainly during the fight scenes. There was a lot of shaky cam being used, but not in a way that's hard to follow. There are some clever uses of the camera as well. Like at one point we're in the POV of Dev Patel's character, and then someone punches us out of the POV, and then we're back to the viewer's perspective. It was very cool. We'll get more into the action in a sec, but other shots that stood out to me are when the camera's like scaling down these large structures. You'll see a few in the trailer. They were very cool to see as well. Also, there are parts where we see Bobby's memories, and the shots used in there are very nice. There's also a great use of color towards the end of the film, which I thought was visually stunning as well. Let's talk about the action. Like I said, there are a few clever camera movements when it comes to the fighting sequences. There are some great chase scenes that make good use of rickshaws and close quarters of the streets and the alleyways. The fighting itself is very intense, but I don't think I had to worry too much about the main character up until he comes face to face with the main villain. But I will say the film will make you quite frequently. There's a part in the trailer where Bobby holds someone's head on a stove and smashes a bottle of alcohol over it so it catches on fire. It just shows that there are a lot of clever moments in the action right up until the end. The whole last act is pure adrenaline. Along with the action, the music is very intense as well. There are some great needle drops in this that Dev Patel explained that he wouldn't have got if Jordan Peele didn't come aboard and shown the movie to Universal. The score itself can be quite chilling as well, building up to the next fight sequence. Some sounds were reminiscent of a rattlesnake, so yeah, the music is something that you will remember coming out of this movie. But not only the soundtrack, but the way that instruments are used in the film, and you'll see what I mean by that when you watch it. But overall, this is something you definitely should go watch on the big screen when it comes out on April 5th. Dev Patel's hit the ground running with this film, and you can tell that he's put his heart and soul into this. I love how much this delves into the Indian culture and Hindu religion. As an Indian myself, I felt very connected to this as a viewer. So thank you to Empire VIP for allowing me to watch this film early and bring you guys this review. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it if you made it this far. I'm interested what you guys think of the film when it comes out. Make sure to leave a like if you like this review and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one.